member. This is Miles and this is Collars. How you doing? Quick video for you today. We thought we would start to engage and talk to you a little bit more through the power of social media. And today we wanted to talk specifically, in fact, not just to you if you're a member, but maybe you're a member and you shared this with a friend, specifically motivation. I think it's a topic that gets bandied around a lot, I think, in the gym industry. There's a lot of people who find motivation a challenge in terms of going to the gym or not going to the gym or exercising, just out going for a run or whatever. So I thought it'd be nice for us to kind of just talk a little bit about motivation and what our take on is specifically that you can do to give yourself more motivation at times when maybe you don't have as much as you would like. So, Carlos, what's your take on motivation? What can people do you think, to get themselves more motivated for their training?
Well, first and foremost, obviously, it's all about mindset. But I would say when it comes to training itself, a lot to do is to do with obviously preparation, as we spoke before. Once you prepare yourself for the week and you know exactly what you're going to do, those workouts, prepare your food, or you basically buying the food in a place where you know what you're eating every day, so you're well ahead in terms of preparation. Therefore, that will give you the motivation to obviously not let yourself down. So you basically almost gives you that sort of push to do it and enjoy it more. Obviously, if you don't know what you're going to do in that particular day, as I said, obviously on Monday you come in on Monday to the gym, you don't know what you're going to do. Next thing you know, obviously you probably have a stressful job, and obviously probably a stressful meeting where you're probably thinking, oh, well, I can't really be bothered. And then you don't go to the gym, then it comes to a point and it becomes an habit, not turning up, and next thing you know, your motivation's out the window, and you'll stop, obviously, coming to the gym, obviously start piling those weight up, and then obviously it goes on and on and on, and then obviously that's when it gets into excuses, oh, I'm too busy or whatever. A lot of the times it's down to that preparation, but there is a lot of obviously aspects that come into play, which is I'm sure we'll go into detail in a minute.
And for me, it's about having a compelling reason why you would do it. So that starts from the point where you join the club. So I'll give an example. I once was working in a gym in the south. A lady came in for a tour. To cut a long story short, her compelling reason to join, true story, was that she was concerned that if she didn't do something about health and fitness now, her marriage was going to break down. And she actually got quite emotional about that. Said that her and her husband hadn't been intimate for months. And it was deep. It was kind of hard to hear, but that was a really compelling reason for her to start her fitness journey. And there's a positive end to that story, which is that months later her husband joined, and 8 years later that husband and wife are still members of that club. So obviously you may not have as compelling a reason as that, because that's pretty heavy.
But they're still married though.
They're still married, yeah. And I think it's really important that,
still married.
I think it's really important that you have your own compelling reason, whether it be like, we've got a member here who's doing the half marathon on Sunday, whether it's for getting into a little black dress. For those that don't know, we've now got a free diet and training plan, Little Black Dress, which you can ask for at reception or on Facebook. You've got to have a compelling reason. You have a reason why you've got to go to work. It's not just to pay the bills. Maybe you're booking a holiday. Maybe you've got Christmas coming up and you want to have money to spend on loved ones at Christmas. You've obviously got a compelling reason to go to work. You need to apply the same philosophy to your training. You've got to have a compelling reason why. If you're just coming to lose weight and just generally feel a bit better about yourself, then I'm going to kind of call you out on that and say that's not a compelling enough reason. You have to have something that makes you want to get out of bed in the morning and do this, not for the gym's sake, but because it makes you feel so good about yourself that you just do it as a lifestyle choice and not because you feel like you should do it.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with that one as well. There is obviously a lot of elements that trigger people to do what they do. I'm definitely with Miles on this one. It needs to be important enough for you to be able to want to do it. Now, the other thing I'd like to talk about is a lot of the times you find that you come to the gym and you keep repeating the same thing. And this tends to happen not just with beginners, because people think, oh, beginners don't know what they're doing. But they do, in the sense where they begin to obviously understand what they're doing in terms of induction and they start exercising. But a lot of the times is you find that people tend, even the guys I've been training for 10 years, for instance, they will do, say, I'll give you an example, what we're doing on Monday morning, or we're doing it Monday evening, chest and biceps. You go to any gym in the country or in the world, people on Monday, for some reason, I don't know why actually, they do chest and biceps.
I did legs on Monday.
But people do that. And I imagine you for 10 years, you've been training for 10 years and you've been doing the same exercises for 10 years. It gets boring. And it comes to a point where you just turn up, and I see it all the time, don't take me wrong. I used to train with a training partner, and that's what he did for 10 years. And when I began to train with him, I said, no, we're going to do legs on Monday. Just because we changed, I'm not saying that I was teaching him anything, it was just a training partner. I didn't want to be training with someone that as if I was working, because obviously I'm a trainer. So I just went and trained with him and completely changed all his views about the training. So we began to do legs on Monday, we began to do back on Wednesday, we began to do chest on biceps on Friday. And once you change it, it just completely changes the way you look at things. And obviously then we're talking about obviously rep ranges, you're talking about obviously training principles, you're talking about motivation, and that really triggers you to obviously become more motivated to do it. And then obviously that then links into your, sort of, if you like, how compelling is that then that training for you, and how important it is to become better at it.
Cool. Thanks, Carlos. Well, that was video one, guys. If you found this useful, I just said guys. If you found this video useful, please feel free to share it with friends, family, work colleagues, cats, dogs, husbands, wives, chickens, whatever.
Goldfish.
Goldfish, absolutely. You've got to share it with the goldfish.
Yeah.
Goldfish should work out, definitely.
Absolutely.
Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video. See you on the next one. Take care.
Take care.